Yes, welcome to the Premier Speedway in Warrnambool. I'm David Tapp. Nice to have you along wherever you might be watching around the country. This, the 1994 Kalari Australian Sprint Car Championship, promises to be one of the great events of all time. Since the inception of the Australian Sprint Car title in 1963, the event has been won by many great drivers. None greater, of course, than our 10 times national champion, Gary Rush. As you can see, a very big crowd in, a great atmosphere. The organisers have gone to a lot of trouble to put plenty of razzmatazz in the meeting. The pits are a beehive of activity as all the drivers wait with no little expectation for the racing to commence. Let's now go trackside for the all-important first heat. And of course, your resident race caller here at Warrnambool is Ian Campbell.
A very, very tight field. Mixture of sponsors out there, Shell Oils, also Airbus, of course, the people supporting John Shaw in the 66 car. Shell Oils supporting the Tatnall team, also the Phantom Comic. Paul Lindbergh out there in the third row. Max Farrow Used Cars, Max, of course, the owner of the team and Paul's mentor for a number of years. We're going for a start again in heat race number 1. Green aloft, off the Knoxville line this time. And into turn number 1 again, Ron Cricky, Alan Barley jumping out with him. Eakins trying to go, and in trouble is Paul Lindbergh. Bicycling there, having a touch of the wall off turn number 2, but gets the car down in the right direction. Race leader, Ron Cricky, around about 8 or 9 car lengths separating first from second. Barley running second. Eakins starting to put on a good turn of speed in third place and could challenge Barley over the next couple of laps. Further back in fourth spot, we've got Les Harrow in the double 8 car. He's followed by Brooke Tatnall, Jamie Cobby. Further back, Lindbergh. After that, we've got David Hendricks and then John Shaw and Harry Delamont at the back of the pack. This time with 3 laps down, 7 remaining in heat race number 1. We see Ron Cricky really cooking it big time as he comes around and records 11:47 on that last circulation of Premier Speedway. The time's coming down. Rush, as I said, only a few short days ago recording a 10:97 circulation for this 400-metre clayway. Cricky goes by in the lead, the length of the straightaway, separating first from second. Barley in that position. Eakins slipping back a little bit now. In fourth place is still Les Harrower. Brooke Tatnall unable to go by him, and Harrower this weekend having his car spattered by the man who's been driving for him right through the Quid Series and the Classic from Memphis, Tennessee, Mike Ward. Tatnall in trouble up the second turn, but gets back on the line very quickly because right behind him is Jamie Cobby in the 16 car from South Australia. This young man picked by many of the experts as the wild card for this weekend. Cricky by now, 2 remaining in this event. And Ron Cricky really serving notice on these guys that he is a serious contender to defend his crown here at Premier Speedway for the 1994 title. Cricky by now, 1 remaining. The battle for the minors could be an interesting one as traffic is out there, and we've got the leader going to turn number 3. But make no mistake about it, the first heat race for the 94 title goes to the defending champion Ron Cricky. Alan Barley second. Third across the line is car number 2E, Warren Eakins. He's followed by Les Harrow in the double 2. Of course, tomorrow night's 35-lap final. I did make a mistake the other night. I was informed we're having a 40-lap final tomorrow night. I'm now told it's 35 laps as per the program. So, okay. Pay your attention, please, to the track. We have the Major League of Sprint Car Racing out there, or the Major League players, certainly, as we have the green flag ready to go. Heat race number 2. Pole sitter in this one for Atlas Batteries, car number 6. This is Steve Mortimer from Queensland bunching up. 10 times national champion Gary Rush off the second row. Mortimer's gone. Mortimer's gone and Rush is trying to keep out of it. Steve Mortimer upside down. We have a solid red on the circuit. Crash crews going to attend with the paramedics. This is Steve Mortimer from Queensland bunching up. 10 times national champion Gary Rush off the second row. Mortimer's gone. Mortimer's gone and Rush is trying to keep out of it. Phil March and Stephen Gall. They're followed by Roy Wright, Butch Hunter off the back. Attempt to start again. Heat race number 2, 10 up the board. Brooke Tatnall's record of 1:55.97 still remains, and we're racing. Rush jumps into the lead in this one. Battle between March and Raoul for second place, and Raoul with a Buick-powered engine and heaps of horsepower up into turn number 3 as we see Butch Hunter pulling off the infield with a 73 car from Victoria. March also in a problem here. He pulls infield in car number 3 from South Australia.
as we see the race go on. Have a look at this. Rush is not getting away with this one, Scott 3. We have got car number 14 from Queensland, Mike Rowell, in hot pursuit. The battle on for third as we see Stephen Gall move up now into third place, going underneath Colin Farr off the second turn. The racing, an absolute cracker at this stage. We're watching the leader up on the Coca-Cola scoreboard. He comes around off turn number 4. It's Gary Rush. He records an 11:41 of that last circulation of Premier Speedway here in southwest Victoria. Up to turn 3, the action. Rush, Mike Rowell, 3 car lengths behind him. The timer reset again. We'll get him this time at the halfway mark. 5 laps down, 5 remaining of heat race number 2 here for the 94 Nationals. Rush, an 11:37, just puts it away quickly, and the track's still coming in. We'll watch him down the back chute. The Grand Champ, 10 times winner of the National Crown, being pursued by the Queenslander, Mike Rowell. This time with 3 remaining. We've got Rush off the second turn. He's down into turn number 3. The mid-track line is the favourite at the moment with a cushion building up, and Rush recording 11:49 on his last circulation. 1.5 remaining. There's the white flag being prepared, and the Grand Champ swings off turn number 4. He comes up behind Roy Wright from Victoria, who'll go a lap down if Rush gets around him. Rowell's in close company. Here comes Stephen Gall. It's going to be a close finish. Gall diving towards the checkered flag, but it's going to be Gary Rush first over the line and taking the win. Heat race number 2. In second place, Rowell, and third place, Stephen Gall. Rob Dawkins probably wouldn't have been unhappy with that start. He jumped out there very quickly and thought, well, I'll have a bit of this. But the steward, of course, in the interest of all the players, has got to make it as fair as possible. The pole car, Gary Rush Jr., dictates the pace around to that white line and is said to be doing so in a fair and reasonable way, keeping the cars bunched in rows of 2. After that, you can go and play. Green flag aloft this time for the start of heat race number 3, the 94 Nationals here at Premier Speedway. And again, Dawkins gets a good jump on this one. Have a look at McDonald right round the outside, almost position 2. Rush coming up there, and the two of them almost getting together on the back chute. But Robin Dawkins, Gary Rush Jr., Nathan McDonald, behind them Bill Barrows. He's having a tussle there with Bob Kelly. Dubsy's the one that can't seem to get it going in this early stage of the race. 2 down, 8 remaining of heat race number 3. And we've got the race leader out the second turn. That's Dawkins. He's leading this one by half a dozen car lengths to Gary Rush Jr. Right behind him is Nathan McDonald, who got a little funny going around the 3-4 that time, but gets the car down to working pace again on the 1-2 turn. Dubsy in the meantime has regained his composure. He's moved up the fist bump behind Bill Barrows, and those two are having their own battle royal back behind the leaders. The leader is still, though, the Tasmanian. Oh, McDonald, a big move into turn number 3, and he's gotten up to second place. In the meantime, Dawkins has got his own share of problems, starting to blow some smoke from the Launceston entry, car number 11. Dawkins this time with 4 laps remaining, cutting a 12:16 as race leader on lap number 5. Goes down to turn 3. Here's McDonald having a good look at him. Dubsy having a good look at Barrows, and the two of them getting right amongst it. 3 remaining now. Having a look at Brooke Tattle's record time at 1:55.97. Will it go in this event? We'll have to wait and see. Around they come this time. With 2 remaining, it's still Rob Dawkins, but Nathan McDonald is breathing right down his exhaust pipe. Off the second turn. Down into 3, McDonald attacking again. Dawkins hanging on, the white flag, 1 remaining. This one's going right down to the wire. Dawkins off turn number 2, smooth. Hooks a little bit of a rut. McDonald tries to dive over in turn 3, but it's going to be Rob Dawkins, car 11 from Tasmania, that takes out heat race number 3, followed home by Nathan McDonald, Gary Rush Jr., Bill Barrows, Max Dubsy further back. Ryan Farrell getting together. Ryan Farrell getting together with the, I think it was the double 4 car at the back. And, oh, he's cut down a tyre. So that's Brett Lansley exiting his first heat race for the Nationals for 94 on the infield with a cut down left rear tyre, and that's shocking luck for the young man. We'll wait and see this time. Having a look at him.
Green is waved. David Anderson jumps into the lead, followed very closely by Colin Farr. And behind him we've got Farrell. In trouble at the back was the 24 car of Wadless. George Tattle also back in that mob. And they're all trying to sort it out here at Premier Speedway. Heat race number 4 here tonight for the Nationals. 15 heat races in the first night, and then of course the final rounds of heats and the 30-lap final, 35-lap final I should say, coming to us tomorrow evening. David Anderson, the race leader in this one, doing it nicely, coming off turn at number 4. 7 remaining for Anderson, then chasing that elusive record for 10 laps of racing here at Premier belonged to Brooke Tattle at 1 minute 55.97 seconds. Race leader now, flying by us. He goes off the second turn, the 37 car from Wagga Mobile Crane. He's leading the KBT Overnight Express entry of Robert Farr from Sydney, New South Wales. Running third for Quit from Western Australia is Ryan Farrell in car number 96. He's followed by the 4 car of Tony Bridge from Queensland. Further back to Pete Smith from South Australia. Then Todd Wadless, George Tattle, and you can forget the rest. Race leader now coming around into turn number 4. David Anderson looking very, very sharp, favouring that high line as he goes off the second turn. The cushion's starting to come in. Anderson flying down behind George Tattle, this time with 2 laps of Premier Speedway to go. Heat race number 4, like all the other heat races tonight, at lightning quick pace as we see them go up to turn number 3. Race leader now looking for a line. Here comes Farr. He's going to put some pressure on. Anderson caught in the traffic and has had to go on the high line around George Tattle. Turn number 3. The white flag waits David Anderson. And the checkered flag, I should say. Anderson's taken it out. Anderson's taken this one out. The excitement of it, Maynard Smith. The white flag with Farr second over the line. Third across the line was Farrell. They're followed by the for heat race number 5 on the circuit. Coming around, 10 starters, a full field, including 1987 national champion Brett Lacey, the back of the pack. And going up the pole, the 21 car of Gary Brazier, but getting a bit of swish in this one. Skip Jackson gave him a little bit, and in trouble, Kevin Condren in the 70 car up to greet the Warrnambool Concrete. Have a look at Lacey, absolutely styling it through the field. He's up to position number 5, lickety split, and goes to 4 very quickly as he passes Kev McCallum. This race is going to be a boomer. Brazier, the race leader in car number 21. Running in second place is Skip Jackson in the 25 car from New South Wales. In third place, we've got Kelly from Queensland in car number 7. Brett Lacey closing on him with every lap. And drama for Condren. Clouded the wall before. He's had to call it a day, and we can see why the suspension on the right side, the rear of the car, has completely gone away from the Wagga plumber. Race leader coming around now. Have a look at these times, absolutely amazing. We'll get a quick one out of Brazier. That's if he doesn't catch the traffic, excuse me. We'll go to turn number 3, around into 4, 9, 10, and 11, 18. Hey, nice work if you can do it. And Brazier's really honking with this one. He's in the back chute behind Eddie Gobby from Western Australia, and he's having a look around him. Brazier driving it with the throttle, the horsepower, the 21 O'Brien aluminium entry, absolutely amazing. He puts the buffer in between him and Jackson. He comes underneath Mark Gilbert off turn number 4. Comes up behind Bruce White, cars everywhere. And the leader trying to push through. Jackson trying to go with him. This time with 1 remaining, the white flag being prepared. A quick race is a good race. Will the record fall again? 1 to go for Gary Brazier. He's up beside Mark Gilbert again. They go off the second turn. Jackson trying to get through the pack as well. Kelly trying to go with him. Lacey all over the back of Kelly. And there's the checkered flag. Gary Brazier wins it. Behind second place is Jackson. Third, I think, was just Lacey. Gentlemen, help me with that one. The show tonight for seeing Ian Anderson as we go lining up, ready to race in heat race number 6 here for the 94 Nationals at Premier Speedway, Warrnambool, down in the southwest. Racing quickly, John Shaw, early race leader. Brooke Tattle left up there, high and dry. Ron Cricky, national champion, also touching the wall, but gets the car pointing in the right direction. The track changing character, race by race, getting quicker. We've seen Brooke Tattle in trouble. Brooke Tattle in big trouble off the second turn.
continues on with it. The car, I think, would be ill handling, and he's back there with Ron Cricky at the back of the pack. I'd suggest that the suspension is very sad. The car wanting to lurch. I'm not too sure what has actually happened, but right at the moment, that's the least of the concerns for car 66 from New South Wales. That's John Shaw. He's our race leader. David Henrington, the comeback kid, subbing for Ian Lewis in the 11 car from Victoria, is running in second place. And he's followed by hot shot South Australian driver in Jamie Cobby, and being very aggressive at the moment, putting lots of pressure on Henrington. This is a fine auto race out here tonight. In the meantime, the 66 car leads off the second turn. We're at the halfway mark. It'll be 4 to go this time around. Cobby trying to dive into turn 3 under Henrington. These two having a ding-dong battle for the minors. Shaw in the meantime sitting back relaxed in the Airbus entry from Sydney. 3 remaining this time, and the laps are flying around here at the moment. We'll get a time on the leader. Shaw looks at home, running very low on the track compared to some of the lines here at Premier Speedway. 2 remaining for Shaw. He goes past, recording an 11.90 circulation of the Speedway. Will David Anderson's newly gotten 10-lap record go in this one? We'll watch in 1 short lap's time. 1 to go for Shaw. He's the length of the straightaway in front of second place. A big drive from David Henrington. The first serious competition for him for 2 years. But take the glasses down. It's going to be car 11. John Shaw from New South Wales, the race win for heat race number 6 here tonight. David Henrington will have the crowd very, very on their feet here at Warrnambool for his second place. Pace vehicle off the circuit. We'll try to delegate it to the rear of the field for asking the extra 2 minutes. It will go off the pole side row. Pole sitter Stephen Gall leads them around. Roy Wright just got him for a moment, but Gall back into the lead off the second turn, right in second place. We've got some heavy traffic behind that. We've got Colin Farr on the low line. Have a look at Phil March. He needs some points. Lost a belt drive in his first heat here tonight. And Phil March from St Peters, South Australia, jumps into second spot. Right back into third. The man they've got to catch is Steve Gall. Gall now sets sail. The Grand Champ Gary Rush starting to move through traffic from the back of the pack. He's picked up about 4 places. He's keeping close company with Mike Rowell on the Buick-powered car. They're on turn 3. Have a look at Rush. Oh, beautiful style around turn number 4. And Gary Rush, this is why we call him the Grand Champ. 10 times winner of this event and 7 times Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic winner at this track here at Premier Speedway in southwest Victoria. All the race leader now at the halfway mark. Seemingly effortless, very tidy off the second turn, has come to grips with this super fast racetrack here as Rush goes and lines them all up on the outside, and just as quick as that moves up the 4th spot. Rush coming out of this event out of position number 8 has picked up 4, and he's now chasing Phil March. That's a big ask with 3 laps remaining. Gall, March, Rush sitting back there further. These guys are really honking it big time. We see Colin Farr a little out of shape there momentarily, but he regains his composure and gets on with the business of racing. One remaining this time around for the race leader. Gall having a look up the highlight, but the big mover is Phil March over the last couple of laps, and he's going to throw down the challenge to Gall. The 2 of them out the second turn. Gall puts the buffer in. They go around 3. The checkered flag at the ready. Stephen Gall takes the win in this one. A big drive, a bigger drive to Phil March, coming on very strong. And Gary Rush out of position number 8 into position number 3. Made this. Nick or Mick? Nick Gutter.
Yeah. Down in Ferry Street at the
I reckon he's got a few
station,
relations down the pits, a few gunners. Gonna do everything. That's a little bit of humour. Rosa 2 coming around for heat race number 8. Rob Reagan gets blown away by John Walsh on the outside. Have a look at Dubsney. A big drive on the outside up into position number 2. He's chasing John Walsh from New South Wales. They race off turn number 4. Hey, this one's going to be a cracker. John Walsh put in some great laps the other night, and he knows what it takes to win a race here at Premier Speedway, especially when you're racing against the likes of Max Dubsney. Around they go. This is the Eldora of the southern part of the world as we see Car number 20 from New South Wales, the comeback kid, John Walsh, going around the 3-4 turn, putting in a great effort of driving. Walsh, Dumsney, third place. Nathan McDonald, further back, we've got Rankin. He's followed by Bill Barrows. Further back, we've got Bob Kelly out at the back of the pack, Gary Rush Jr. But in the meantime, 11:34 for the last little effort. They'll turn the wick up before it's done here. Off comes Walsh, Dumsney, having a look at him. McDonald, he wants to hop in for a bit of this action too, and the three of them just running away from the rest of the field. However, Rankin and Barrows having their little battle. Further back is Kelly and Gary Rush Jr. Leader up the second turn. This time 3.5 remaining, 11:46 the last recorded lap for him. It's John Walsh from New South Wales. They're taking another one. The race leader up the second turn. Almost like a slot car track at the moment. They're that precision in their driving. They come off 4. Oh, 11:50 for the race leader. Dumsney closing. And this time there's two remaining. Make it 1.5 as they go into turn 3. There's the white flag. And if Dumsney's going to pounce, it's going to be in the next 400 metres. Walsh gasses it out of the second turn. He's in the 20 car. He goes into turn number 3. And John Walsh has hung on to it and he's won it well. John Walsh from New South Wales first. Max Dumsney second. Nathan McDonald through into third place. The race will be an interesting start. George Tatnall, the wily veteran. I haven't counted in recent time, but I would think George is, 53 years of age. Happy with the positions this time around. Green flag is aloft. We're keeping our eye on the starters. Instructions come to the starters for the start from the Chief Steward. Gassing it up. Todd Wadless gets away from George Tatnall. Going to turn number 1, but George Tatnall slingshots underneath him. And it's the veteran from San Souci, New South Wales, that takes the lead. They go into turn number 3. And in hard company there with him is car number 3 from New South Wales, Robert Farr. He's followed by Pete Smith from South Australia. Further back, Tony Bridge from Queensland. The 96 car of Ryan Farrell. Further back from him, we've got David Anderson in the 37 car. Fred Edwards, and at the back of the pack, the 4 car of Lansley. Race leader George Tatnall. He's up and away with the Phantom, this guy. Shell Oil's entry going out the second turn, up to the 3. The only man so far to have won both speed cars and sprint car crowns is driving out there in the red 5 car. Challenge coming up for second. Robert Farr putting some pressure in the KBT entry on Queenslander in Todd Wadless. Todd, of course, a second-generation racer. And further back in the field, we've got all sorts of dramas. Places swapping left, right, and centre. We're back to the battle for second. Have a look at this. Wadless has got back after Farr briefly got around him on the second turn. And they're starting to make some time on George Tatnall. This time, 3 remaining. Cars going everywhere down the back chute. For the minors, as we see the race leader off the second turn. Wadless still hanging onto the second spot. Farr making him work for it. And now Tatnall caught with a slow car. They're all over the place. And still the same lineup as we see Tatnall down the back chute. This time for the white flag. Around off turn number 4, and George Tatnall, with a clear run in front of him, has got 1 lap to go here for heat race number 9. Off the second turn, it's Tatnall. Wadless gasses it hard. Here comes the KBT car of Farr, but it's George Tatnall that takes the win from Todd Wadless. In third place, we've got Robert Farr. Fourth place.
Hey, so anything's a possibility.
Having another go this time, excuse me. Umpire. Let them go around the corner. The green remains on. I can't call this one, they're racing. So, we've got out front Mark Gilbert, Kemba Kellum. He's been left hanging out to dry. Condren coming off the infield. Interesting start, to say the least. Heat race number 10. And it's Mark Gilbert's the man out at the moment. Running second is Burcott. Callum on the infield over the back chute for the Calnex entry. Behind him, we've got Eddie Gobby. Brazier moving up into position number 5. Further back from him, we've got Jackson. He's followed by Kelly, and forget the rest for the moment. The race leader up to 3, Mark Gilbert, ex-professional solo rider, then went to speed cars, up into sprinters, and also the promoter of the Wayville Showgrounds. We've got Brazier now starting to slingshot it. He's got the thing cranked up on the high line. He's started pulling some ground here at the moment. This one's going to be a blanket job at the end of the day to throw over these top 3 competitors. Lacey moves. He's up into the 2nd spot now. He's chasing Mark Gilbert, this time with 4 laps remaining. And the 1987 national champion is certainly going places. He takes the lead. Gilbert in trouble. Hooks a run out of the 2nd turn. Has to slow down, point the thing right, get it going again. Lacey now assumes the lead. He'll be a little mad about the start, and let me tell you, he's taking the crowd and upside down. Big time over on turn number 1, 2. Wheel loose off that one. I'll be interested to see if it's a carbon wheel, just incidentally. 20 car, Eddie Gobby. 20 car, Eddie Gobby. And the right rear of the car is missing. Charlie Burley arresting the said offender over in turn 3. Yes, observing that there. So, restart about to come our way. 4 laps. This will be a dash for the cash over 4 lightning laps. Oh, Brett Lacey, hang on to it. In trouble, Brett Lacey. Upside down. What do I say? The car restart about to come our way. 4 laps. This will be a dash for the cash over 4 lightning laps. Oh, Brett Lacey, hang on to it. In trouble, Brett Lacey. Upside down. What do I say? He's very, very consistent, and he would have seen it as all part of love of racing and war, I think, at that time, and said that's the start. But we've got a restart here. 4 remaining around the cone on turn number 3. Mark Gilbert has it all before him, and we'll see what he can do. Gary Brazier, in the meantime, he's got his own ideas. He goes through out of turn number 2 into 2nd place. So it's Mark Gilbert, pressurised by Gary Brazier to him. Drag race into turn number 1. Gary Brazier, horsepower plus. He's the race leader. They go out of turn number 3. This time 2 laps to go. In 2nd place is Gilbert. 3rd place is Burcott from Tasmania. Kelly is running in 4th place, followed by Jackson. He's putting on a big turn of speed, coming up into 5th spot from the rear of the field. 1 to go. White flag time. Gary Brazier. He's really putting the cat amongst the canaries this time. He comes around off turn number 4, and Gary Brazier takes out heat race number 10 here for the Nationals. Mark Gilbert 2nd, Murcott through into 3rd place. We're looking at going into heat race number 11. Pole sitter on this one, Kev Condren. Kev Condren, the pole sitter. This will be an interesting little do-si-do. Under green off turn number 4, and jumping into the lead is the 25 car of Skip Jackson. Have a look at Eakins on the outside, the 94 midget champion, stepping up the sprinters for this weekend, and Eakins on the aggressive trail. Mark Gilbert in there battling with him for 3rd place, but Eakins gets the upper hand as they go through the 1-2 turn. Murcott just for a minute in trouble, but who is going to catch Skip Jackson? He comes off turn number 4, and this young lad from New South Wales is doing it in fine style as he streamlines down the back chute into 3. Kevin Condren running 2nd. Behind him we've got Warren Eakins, and Eakins not much seat time in sprint cars, but 4 times Australian speed car champion and crowned just 1 short week ago. We watch the action now. This time with 6 remaining. 1 round and goes Alan Barley on turn 3. Cautions on. The drama happening on turn 3. The Knoxville Innovation. Of course, a very important presentation here 1 week ago when Tom Speed from Knoxville come visiting for the Classic. Racing again. Under green on the circuit here with the photographers trying to pick the top shot around the 1-2 turn. Plenty to pick from at the moment. Oh, yes, touch of wheels to the back. Paul Lindbergh, together with Mark Gilbert, the respective Queensland and South Australians number 5s. As we see Jackson scooting away with this one. but in hot pursuit this time and jumping out the pack. A brilliant restart. Jamie Cobby in the Jarvis Ford entry from South Australia. So we've got Jackson, Cobby and Eakins, followed by Lindbergh from Queensland. Further back we've got Condren. He's followed by Gilbert. Further back to him we've got the Tasmanian Murcott. And further back in the field, the white car coming in the main straightaway. Car 4, Harry Delamont. Out at the back of the pack, Bruce White from New South Wales. Another lap down, this time 3 remaining on the Coca-Cola scoreboard with car number 25 for Mercury out of New South Wales. Skip Jackson, the driver, he's about to get some pressure put on him, however, from South Australian youngster in Jamie Cobby in the 16 car. Cobby diving low underneath Jackson, the two of them, both with overseas experience at Knoxville in the United States and many other tracks. One to go. This is a dash to the checkered flag. We'll watch him off the second turn as Cobby takes the lead. Jackson's not going to take it lying down, but Cobby's got the setup and the horsepower. And Jamie Cobby in the 16 car from South Australia is first over the line in car number 25. Eakins getting up into third place.
Definitely a wise choice to run it in his car and take it out of problems.
Okay, so it's an interesting comment coming from George. Taking up his position, rightfully so, in front of David Anderson. No disrespect to David, George is off the second back row on the outside of this one. Pace car leaving the circuit. Rows of 2 with Ryan Farrell on the pole. 21 car Gary Brazier outside of him. Keep your eye on David Anderson from the back. Brett Lacey making the car back off the second run. We're racing. This is heat race number 12 here tonight. And unfortunately without Eddie Govey, Brett Lacey just a little loose on the second turn. Have a look at this here, George Tandall right up into the boonies. Pete Smith, and he going very close company going to turn number 3. But Gary Brazier from Sydney, New South Wales is the man they've got to catch at the moment. Have a look at this, at 11-12 straight off. Hey, what about that time of Gary Rush's? Maybe in danger there of a 10.97. We'll wait and we'll watch. Kemp McCallum on the infield with the Caldex entry. Problems again. This time, the stopwatch fires off one more. It's not the stopwatch, the electronic beam, in fact, as we see Brazier down in the turn number 3. He's in the 21 car, being chased by the 96 car from Perth, Western Australia, of Ryan Farrell. He reels up at 11.37 this time around. Robbie Farr in the KBT entry, number 3 from Sydney, New South Wales. He's in third spot. Brett Lacey in fourth. He's followed by Pete Smith from South Australia. David Anderson from Victoria. Further back, George Tatlam at the back of the pack. Not being able to make any impression at the moment is John Kelly. 11.47 that time for Gary Brazier. Brazier now the length of the straightaway, separating first from second. He comes around this time with 3 remaining. And the clock ticks again, dude, as we watch him go up the second turn. It's Brazier. Farrell running third is Robert Farr. Behind that, Brett Lacey. He's followed by Pete Smith. Anderson putting a lot of pressure on him. And further back, we've got John Kelly. And further back, we have got George Tattle. Brazier with 2 to go. A little close for comfort off the wall. Has he hit it? I can't answer the question, but he's on his merry way. Last lap for Gary Brazier. He goes up into turn 3. He's the top point scorer so far, and looks like he'll stop there. Gary Brazier takes out heat race number 12. Ryan Farrell second. Robert Farr third. Brett Lacey in fourth place. Funny story behind that. I mean, he always displayed to everybody at the talent, but they didn't have the budget. They needed to be up at the top end, and of course he was supported for a number of years by his dad Bob and his mum and all that, and now married himself with a family, and I guess it's difficult. And I think John's a chippy by trade, is he not?
That's right.
Yeah,
along with his father.
Yeah, both come build a house and buy a sprint car and do all that sort of stuff. Sound like a bloke I used to know used to go backwards and forwards across the Nullarbor to support his habit. Okay, racing this time, coming around, this will be heat race number lucky 13. Bob Kelly, the pole sitter. Yes, they've said, have a look at this Max Dumsney very quickly up in the action. And we've got the bolter, John Walsh, go for it on the outside. Another Sydney driver doing well here this weekend at Premier Speedway. Dumsney in the meantime is cooking with gas, and he's jumped out. He's in the third spot, chased by Stephen Gore. This will be interesting. 2 great motorsport athletes in their own right out there strutting their stuff here on the awesomely fast Premier Speedway clay. off the second turn. The 20 car from New South Wales with John Walsh aboard is the leader. Second place, they were doing a great job for KBT Transport. Here's Colin Farr from Sydney. He's followed by Dubsney. Right behind him is Stephen Gall. Further back to him is, have a look at this. Gall underneath Dubsney. Dubsney now trying to get back on the island and may have just got a little strange off the second turn, but take nothing away from Stephen Gall. In fact, he's pulling away from Dubsney at this early stage. Halfway mark, John Walsh, who is going to catch him? Gasses it off the second turn. There's a bit of a rut forming halfway through it, and Dubsney found it once more as they went around that time. That may have been his problem. Not making excuses for him, because no excuses accepted this weekend. We go up to turn 3. Walsh on the hammer. Comes off 4, smoking the big Goodyear right rear. Colin Farr, he's safe at the moment, driving perfectly as he goes off the second turn. Trying to have a look at his exhaust pipe, however, is Stephen Gall, and we've got 2 remaining for the race leader. Walsh off the second turn, he hooks the rut, gets ugly for a moment, gets it back, pointed in the right direction. White flag for John Walsh. Can he keep it going for one more lap? He comes down to the turn number 1. Off 2, he's in the traffic. Here comes Farr looming up. Here comes Colin Dubsney. There's the checkered flag. Have a look at the minors. Through goes Walsh. Second, Farr. Gall hangs on for 3rd place. Dubsney 4th. Further back we've got Darryl Nash, the sad sight, not appearing. Roy Wright moving up 1, which means Gary Rush now going off position number 4. Mike Rowell behind him, and that car is absolutely awesome, that Buick. It's certainly the Jack Brothers racing team. Guys who we know more through drag racing than Speedway have certainly done an amazing job, and well done to them. I don't know whether Phil Jack's down this weekend, but if he is, I hope you're having a great time, Phil. Green aloft for heat race number 14. Phil March from South Australia, the pole sitter on this one. Green drops, and so does the right feet, right to the pedal to the metal. Have a look at this. Rush got hemmed in for the moment. Rowell actually gets the jump on him for the minute, but Rush digging into the bag of experience on the high line, gasses it off turn number 4 and makes for the low line up alongside Roy Wright. And we've got the 2 of them going hammer and tongs. In the meantime, Phil March, and have a look at this, a pleasing sight for man upside down early tonight. Steve Mortimer doing well in 2nd place in the Atlas Batteries entry. So it's the South Australian leading the Queenslander. Rush now clear into 3rd place. Behind him we've got Roy Wright from Victoria. One of the cars smoking, it's Rush. I don't know what the problem is. We hope it's just a little oil on the header pipes, the right bank of the engine that's certainly gushing smoke out at this stage. Freddie Edwards on the infield retiring from the event, and March is becoming very, very smoky. If the stewards deem that the smoke is becoming a problem to other competitors, they may choose to black flag him. At this stage, I don't know, but that smoke is increasing lap by lap. However, March with, one upside down, 44 car. Lansley in the 44 car, that's Brett Lansley car, 44, upside down. And I thought they would have gone to solid red, but however, well, the cone out on turn 3. Phil Marsh to dictate the restart. Mortimer goes low, Rush goes high. Interesting restart for these 2 races. We go into turn number 1. Mortimer looked down and he'd see the front wheels of the Castrol car. Phil Marsh again resuming smoking, not as in the cigarette way, but certainly in the engine way. And that car extremely smoky. He's got to hang on for 3.5 laps. And in that 3.5 laps, he's got to satisfy the steward that the smoke from said vehicle is not creating a problem for the rest of the field. So March in the smoking Joe number 3 car leads car number 6, Steve Mortimer from Queensland, Gary Rush from New South Wales. Further back, Mike Rowell from Queensland in the 14 car. And behind Rowell is car number 4, which is the bridge entry, car number 4 from Brisbane. 1 to go this time around. 1 for Phil March. Flashes by us here. And the thing, like a diesel truck down the back chute, they're going to leave him out there. And Phil March in car number 3 smokes across the line to take the win in this one. Well done to Steve Mortimer next across the line from Gary Rush.
Pace vehicle pulling off at the back. straight away. Car number 11 to dictate the pace in rows to 2 to the Knoxville line. 10 laps of racing up there. David Anderson's record at 1:54.41. Brooke Tatnell jumps away with this one. A brilliant start. The young racer from San Souci in New South Wales comes around turn number 4 and one in trouble. National champion there, getting a little out of shape, got his foot back on the gas and back in the race, but a big hard drive for Ron Cricky this time for valuable points. In the meantime, Brooke Tatnell's running away 11.81. 11.81 up on the scoreboard for his last circulation, 11.81 seconds. That's very, very quick. We see Cricky up there fighting with the car, trying to pick up ground, and he's going around it the hard way on the high line. That's the national champion having to do it from the back of the pack. In the meantime, Tatnell goes past us. Nathan McDonald running second. Hetherington third. Barrows fourth. They're followed by Les Harrower. Further back, John Shaw. Ron Cricky now moving up under Shaw on the second turn, and he's picked up 2 places. Brooke Tatnell now settling down, just taking care of that small run on the second turn, taking the low line. Nathan McDonald keeping him in sights, really smoking the right rear. 11.87 with the last lap recorded for the race leader, Brooke Tatnell. It's out there for Shell Oils and the fate of Comic in car number 8. Comes off turn 4, uses the cushion, drive himself down the straightaway. The timer restart. We'll watch him this time. Will David Anderson's record go? We'll have to wait and see. Tatnell comes around off turn number 4. 11.89, very consistent racing at the moment. Tatnell and Nathan McDonald having their own little event out in front. In the meantime, with 1 to go, we've got car 11 Hetherington onto the infield with a problem. The checkered flag being prepared, and make no mistake of this one, it's going to be car number 8 from New South Wales. Brooke Tatnell first, second across the line, the 32 car from Queensland, Nathan McDonald, and coming through in the third place, car number 6 from South Australia, Bill Burrows. Race time up there outside the record at 1:59.47.
Yes, indeed, the beautiful city of Warrnambool, certainly one of Victoria's most popular tourist destinations. And so too is this venue, the Premier Speedway in Warrnambool, host to this weekend's Kalari 1994 Australian Sprint Car Championship. If you haven't seen sprint cars before, I can assure you they are one of the most exciting categories in world motorsport. I'm David Tapp, nice to have your company wherever you might be watching. Last night saw the qualifying for the National Championship, and this is the way it looked. Well, as you can see, following the 15 qualifying heats from last night, it was young Gary Brazier emerging on top with 60 points. John Walsh, Stephen Gall and Gary Rush all tying on 44. Well, it's about this time of year in sprint car racing, all the fans start asking the same question. Can Gary Rush do it again? He now joins me. He's already been a 10-time winner of this great race. Can you make it 11?
Well, we're for a good show, David. We're second at points at the moment, but as you said, young Gary is going good, and he's a man to beat at the moment. He's been pretty fast here for the last 2 weeks, and you'd be a fool to say there's anyone quicker around at the moment. But big races, a lot can happen in them. As what happened to Gary in the Classic last week. Gary was leading the Classic and hit the wall and didn't finish. But I don't want to wish that upon him. But no, he's going very fast. But so has a few others.
What about a fellow like yourself? How do you approach a race like this? I've already said you've won 10 Australian Championships. You've won everything there is to win. You've got nothing to prove. Is this just another motor race for Gary Rush?
Yeah, it is another motor race, but the car's right. The crew's been working on the car all week. They never stop working. But myself, I went and had a game of golf today. Relaxed. I'm in a relaxing mood. Silly way of sitting at home worrying about what could happen. So I'm in a very good mood. I'm ready for the race tonight.
Okay, Gary Rush, can he do it for an 11th time? That question and many more will be answered very shortly.
Thanks, David. Ron, defending your national title here. You feeling the pressure?
No, actually I feel quite well. It's you know, we sort of bopped around not bad last night, but we're trying our best, and we've got a reasonable heat draw tonight, so hopefully, you know, a good finish in that will get us up in the order in the A main, and the track's sort of getting a little drier, which is going our way, so, you know, hopefully God's with us and a few other things are with us and we get home.
Coming to the track, it's a very fast, hooky, high bank track. Have you got a secret weapon up your sleeve maybe for the feature?
God.
And what about a right rear?
Yeah, we run a different type tyre over home with the dry slicker track. That's why I'm hoping the dry slick will come to us. And as I say, you know, if it works that way, we'll just tighten the car up, and we're used to this sort of thing. So it's just a banking to get used of, and then hopefully at the end of it we can pass a few cars, get a couple of red lights, and then go ahead and do some more.
We wish you all the best tonight, Ron. Good luck and safe journey through the feature.
Thank you very much, Jimmy, and everyone here.
He's certainly one who has had a lot of seat time in the US, and I think that might pay off for him. The row behind them is the 4 car of Harry Delamont, the 32 car of Murcott. Further back, we've got Warren Eakins, the man who could create history this weekend. Don't rule him out the ballpark. As we look down, Warren Eakins at the moment sitting in position number 16, but let's forget that for the moment. Who'll get the whole shot in this one? We'll watch it. 10 up on the board. That record time of David Anderson's 1:54.41. As we see Paul Lindbergh bring him around for the start. The Knoxville line getting a little together here. We see the green flag. They're racing and having a problem. There's Lindbergh at the moment, but the early race leader is Bruce White. Action down the back chute. Cobby underneath him. He goes into the lead on turn number 2, running around the low line. Have a look at Eakins. He's coming from the back of the pack, and he's really honking. Race leader settles down out the second turn. Cobby running away with this early stage. White second. Barley now up into third. Behind that we've got Lindbergh, then Eakins. Further back we've got Workon. One into the wall. One into the wall was Condren, and he's broken the right rear tire. Oh, it's busted big time. It's busted big time, the wheel on the right rear of Condren's, and put him out of contention. We see Cobby down the back chute, length of the straightaway. It'll be half a lap shortly, and Cobby's got the 16 car, the Jarvis Ford entry from South Australia, absolutely honking. He goes up the second turn. Bruce White doing a tough job, running second place. The 96 car, Barley, a bit of pressure now from Lindbergh from Queensland. They're going to battle for position number 3, which Barley holds at this stage. The race leader in the meantime, opening up that lead, almost, as I said, half a lap. Further back we go to the third spot. Lindbergh again, putting pressure on third place holder Alan Barley from Victoria, and the two of them actually maybe gathering just a little bit of ground up on second place runner in Bruce White from New South Wales. Darby from Queensland, halfway point 4.5 in fact as he comes around, make it 4 as he records another lap in the lead. I'm keeping my eye up on that lap timer, maybe another record here at Premier. Clark, of course, just going over to check that Condren is okay. As we see, Cobby go past with 1 lap remaining. The white flag out. Jamie Cobby blitzing him in this one. He goes down the back chute. Jamie Cobby and drama. Cobby in drama. Lots of smoke. He takes out the heat race, and the engine looks like it may have let go. He's got a fire in the machine. Big drama there at the moment. Get the crash crew treating him quickly. Big drama in the opening account here. Flash fire under the engine. I think the engine has let go. In fact, the bonnet all flailing up as he went past here, which may indicate bits and pieces are flying off or out of the car, which is even worse. 96. And his efforts, of course, have been very helpful for the running of the Kalari Transport 94 Australian Sprint Car Championship. Going racing in this one. Anderson on the pole, gassing it up hard. Pete Smith gets the jump on this one, needs the whole shot and the points.
And Pete Smith from South Australia is really honking in this deal. He goes up to the turn number 3. David Anderson running second. In third, early stage, George Tatnell doing a good job. Robert Farr on the move. Kelly in between them. They're followed by Brett Lacey. Further back is Farrell. Kevin McCallum and Gary Frazier at the back of the pack. Smith goes by. Anderson having a good look at him. Races off the second turn, up into turn number 3. And Pete Smith keeping a nice line, running to the high line there. He comes around the 3-4 turn. And the fastest hotelier in the business has got it honking. Smith, of course, very well credentialed in the snow skiing field. A professional instructor and also former international competitor. Pete Smith, George Tatnell, Anderson slipping back 1. George Tatnell in second, trying to reach an understanding in this car this evening. And George Tatnell getting the thing working very well. Smith down the back chute. This is the halfway mark. 4 remaining this time around. Smith a little high. Tatnell trying to get the slingshot off 4. Doesn't do it. And Pete Smith still doing it well. Up on the high line. The Eldora of the Southern Hemisphere here at Premier Speedway. And we've got these guys racing big time. Into turn number 1, Smith lighting up that big right rear Goodyear, but George Tatnell breathing right down his exhaust pipe. They go to 3. Here comes Anderson. Anderson honking the thing on 3 wheels. They've got 2 remaining and the pressure's on. Turn number 2, the action. Smith starting to get away with it a little bit now. He goes up to 3 and the white flag. Watch out for it this time around. Smith, Tatnell and Anderson, the 3 of them. Very, very close. Smith gasses it off 4. We'll watch him as he goes around the top turn. There's the checkered flag. Pete Smith from South Australia. Across the line first, George Tatnell, half a car length second. Third place, David Anderson, followed by Kelly.
Job right. There's always a big advantage.
Knoxville line down on turn number 4 means the pole sitter brings the cars around at a fair and proper pace. Rosa 2, green goes down. We're racing in heat race number 18. First time, have a look at Dubsney. He's up on the high line and gassing it big time. Now he gets the door slammed on him halfway down the back chute, but persists with it. Have a look at this. Horsepower racing slingshot off turn number 4. That goes into position 4. Race leader up in car number 11 is the man of position number 2, and that is Wayne Skipper. Skipper leading Gary Rush Jr. Stephen Gall in third. Dubsney up in no man's land and starving it at the moment. Further back, we've got Cole Farr. He's on the move. John Walsh trying to get out from the back of the pack, and Bob Kelly at the back of the field. Race leader, Wayne Skipper. Back straight action for him, the 11 car from New South Wales. Out there for O'Brien Aluminium. Gary Rush Jr. breathing down his tailpipe, pressuring. Dubsney trying to crank it up. It's the halfway mark next time around, and the fireworks will start then. Skipper off turn number 4. Rush, Gall, Dubsney. Here comes Colin Farr. Colin Farr, the KBT entry, that's really gassing it up big time. Max Dubsney having a look at the outside of Gall. Now he ducks down to the inside. This is great competition. This is title time at Warrnambool. Dubsney slipping back a bit. And in the same instant, Gall goes forward. He gets Gary Rush Jr. The 2 of them get together. Out turn 3-4. But they both keep pointing in the right direction. A top heat. In the meantime, Skipper will be saying thank you very much. He barrels it around. This time with a roundabout 2 laps of racing. Skipper up the second turn. Rush Jr. putting the pressure on. Dubsney moves up. He's in third place now. Gall drops back to 4th. Behind that, we've got Farr running it up on the cushion. 1 to go. This is the lap. Gas it up, be done or whatever. We'll watch him up the second turn. Skipper goes for it. He needs the points. He comes off turn number 4. And car number 11 from New South Wales takes the checkered flag. Second across the line. Car number 51, Gary Rush Jr. Max Dubsney home next, just ahead of Stephen Gall. And behind them, we have got Colin Farr. Race time up there of 2:07. Rapid lock-to-lock stuff. It's all precise and whatever. The Doyen of sprint car racing, the grand champ, off row number 3.
Restarting again. Todd Wattles brings them round. With a humbo bumbo, yes is the call. The green flies. And have a look at this. Wattles jumps away with the 24 car. Mike Rowell in second place. Rush up to third. Bridge tries to go with him. Coming through like the gangbusters is Phil March. He's up to position number 5. Stevie Mortimer on the infield. Rotten luck for the Queenslander in the Atlas Batteries entry. He has pulled out of the event, and I'm not sure what he's doing. I am not sure what Stevie Mortimer's doing, but he's pulled down the caution. I'm a little confused. I think I could perhaps suggest that Steve thought the car was going to go again and didn't. Lead him away. Todd Wattles from Queensland. Watch this. Gasses it. Rush having a look. Bridge underneath Rush. Everybody going everywhere. And trying to pick up points to get himself in the A main tonight. Just a tad of dust uncustomary here at Premier Speedway. As we see, car number 24, Todd Wattles, doing it nicely. Second place, Mike Rowell, the Buick-powered engine, car number 14 from Queensland. Have a look at Tony Bridge in the 4 car. Phil March coming up to join him now. But Gary Rush, the danger man, in position 3. And one turned around. Double 4 car, Brett Lansley. And one here. Big drama upside down, Phil March. Bridge is involved in the 2's, broken the front end. Will go to solid red. Phil March, looks like extensive damage to the diff. Extensive damage to Tony Bridge's car.
Phil, what happened?
Oh, I just came under Tony Bridge and we touched, and that was it. Normally when you do a slide job on somebody, they get out of it, but he didn't.
Phil, is the car going to be repairable? Have you had a look at it?
I don't know yet. We'll go back and have a look. We'll see.
Gerald will be out of luck, mate. I hope you get back. Best luck later in the night.
The year there was the 2-part deal up in Queensland. I think 1 part at Archerfield, 1 part at the Ekka. Restart with Todd Wattles. Coming around, have a look at Rush. And in between Wattles and Rush is Mike Rowell. Mike Rowell, the only Buick machine. Have a look at Rush on the outside. Oh, Rowell, cubic horsepower there, slammed the mag and just went away with it for the moment. The Master Blast will work it all out, you believe it. Lansley moving up 1 spot around Edwards, moves into position at number 4. And points will be accumulating for these drivers. Wattles goes past us. There's time 6 remaining in this event. Up the back straight, Gary Rush looking for the ultimate points. Working very, very hard on that high line. Comes off 4. Just gets the nose down again. Have a look at this. Almost gets it on turn number 1. Brilliant race. 44 car of Lansley is pulled out of the infield. 4 remaining this time for the leader. The battle for second. Rush on the high line this time. Smoking right rear on Rowell's car. Rush on the outside. Oh, how do you like it, Warrnambool? Past they go with the leader. And Rowell with a problem. Rowell with a problem. And we've got the battle between Wattles and Rush. And there's plenty of time to play. Passes this time, 2 remaining. Todd Wattles. Rush glooming up behind him. Here it goes on the second turn. The white flag being prepared. Slow traffic in the way here. Off turn number 4, 1 to go. Edwards, Rush, round the outside. That is vintage. Gary Rush, checkered flag. And Gary Rush from New South Wales first. Todd Wattles second. Freddie Edwards third. Orderly assemblance. And of course, Chief Stewart's gone sick of sending them around and around and around until they got it right. So consequently, this line was introduced in the US. It's been great, as is the cone for single file restarts in the back. Let's look at this final heat race for the Nationals. Racing this time, and it's John Shaw jumping away in the 6 car. Rob Rankin from Victoria trying to go with him, the national champion. Rod Cricky, he's out there with for serious business in 3rd place. Further back, we've got Les Harrell, the 8 car. Here comes Nathan McDonald, bearing sideways on turn number 4. And moving up fast also is Brooke Tatnell in the Shell Oils number 8 car. What a big bump into the fence. A big bump into the fence for Bill Burrows. And David Hetherington is the restart order. March it up. Shaw to dictate. Oh, bit of the concertina effect at the back. All going past the cone pretty smoothly. Shaw runs away again. Have a look at Ron Criggy, putting a lot of pressure on Shaw. The battle for third's a doozy between Rankin in second place, Harrower third place. We've got Brooke Tattle, that's in that particular little melee for third spot. In the meantime, we've got car number 66, the race leader. He goes into turn 3, hotly pursued by the defending series champion, Ron Criggy. Turn number 1, the action. Criggy smoking up the right rear tyre. Brooke Tattle trying everything to get past the 88 car Les Harrower. With the battle royal going on at the head of the field into turn number 1. Customary dust here at the moment. I'll get rid of that. You can believe that when track prep comes. And Criggy again on the charge, right up on the high line. Ron Criggy, amazing stuff. Momentum again. Shaw's got him covered. Lap starting to twiddle away, 5 to go. Round the top turn they come, and it's quick pace. 4 remaining. Criggy again doing everything, trying to reel in those extra points, but John Shaw just sitting there in the Airbus entry. Criggy again on the high line. Awfully close to the wall off turn number 4. Everything he is trying to get past John Shaw. Here's another crack at him. Oh, Criggy's rode it. The national champion has rode the wall, caution down. Oh, and have a look at this. Nathan McDonald. Nathan McDonald has come sideways, trying to get out of it. Whew. We have got some extensively damaged motor cars there. Turn number 4. Ron Criggy. All I can say to you, ladies and gentlemen, when this man gets out of this car, he's done it now. Ron Criggy beat the effort. 3 laps up on the board to decide it. And have a look at this. John Shaw holds it on Brooke Tattle. Brooke Tattle, have another look at him. And have a look at Hendrickton. Everybody throw a blanket over him. Brooke Tattle into the lead. And he comes off turn number 4. Hendrickton having a look as well. A little bit of wink, nudge, nudge. Hendrickton on the high line. He's up to second place. So the race is far from done. The white flag. And Hendrickton having a look at Tattle now. 1 to go. Turn number 1. Brooke Tattle. Got it all down pat this time off the second turn, opening up the lead. 2.5 car lengths, checkered flag. And Brooke Tattle takes out the final heat of the Nationals for 94. David Hetherington second. Behind him, the 66 car of John Shaw. And Les Harrower in 4th place. Well, Shane, that was a cut and thrust deal there. Come on, wish them well. Who would you like to see elevated into the B main? What about getting those caps and programs going down the back chute? And wishing them well. Come on to the grandstand, do a big job on them as they go on by. Green flag aloft here for the C main. And as I mentioned, 2 only races will elevate into the A. Pole sitter Bruce White from New South Wales. Steve Mortimer from Queensland on the outside. Mortimer runs with it. The pink number 6 car, a man who hasn't had a lot of luck over the last few nights, certainly hopes it's going to all hold together for him in the C main here tonight as part of the Nationals at Premier Speedway, brought to us with the compliments of Kalari. Race leader off the second turn and running away with it. The Atlas Batteries entry, running 6 as White, the pole sitter in the 96 car. Roy Wright from Victoria is chasing him at car number 17. And further back, Kevin Condren and Drama. Freddie Edwards in the 55 car has turned it around. And Cone out on turn 3. Mortimer taking no chances and takes no prisoners as he comes off turn 4. Steve Mortimer trying to elevate himself into the B with a chance of elevation through to the A. Who knows? This is motor racing and it's unpredictable. We'll watch him off turn 4. Mortimer goes by. Challenge coming up for second place. Bruce White hanging on that spot, taking some nice lines around the 1-2 turn.
And Roy Wright in the 17 car from Victoria trying to run him down. The meantime, Kevin Conrad starting to crank up the action in the 70 car from Wagga. And behind him is Butch Hunter. And at the back of the pack, car number 44 from New South Wales in Brett Lansley. Mortimer goes by. Most half a lap, separating first from second. Hey, Steve Mortimer really got the wick turned right up. Halfway mark. 5 down, 5 remaining for him. 11.64, that'll do to open the account for anybody's business. 11.64 on the last one as we watch the top counter with the compiled laps. Chasing that record belonging to David Anderson of 154.41. Challenge off the second again. Oh, Mortimer. And up on turn 3, Condren, and also the 17 car of Roy Wright. Premier Club for making this great sprint car carnival possible. Not quite sure what's happening here, but I think we're going under green. I can't work out what's going on there with Roy Wright, the 44 car. But certainly all a bit strange. Bruce White seems to have slowed. And Mortimer on his merry way out in front. Race leader comes around now. 3 remaining. Make that 2. White flag next time around. The battle is for second. Steve Mortimer will have 1 circulation and will elevate into the B main here tonight at the Nationals for 94. As we see Bruce White go by in second place. Roy Wright trying everything to run him down. There it goes. Winner, Steve Mortimer. Car 6 from Queensland. Elevates into the B main, as does Bruce White in the 96 car. Bruce White. Come on, one more shot around the terraces. We know you can do it, and the back straight, and the stand. That's the shot. Get right amongst it. Let's go racing in the B main, 2 of which will elevate into the A here tonight. Premier Speedway for the Nationals. Trouble at the back of the pack. They've dropped the green on them. Time to go racing. Turn number 1. And we've got cars going everywhere. Wayne Skipper in trouble for a moment. Good driving going back on the terra firma. But the guy they've got to chase is Skip Jackson. Have a look at the battle for second. Warren Eakins trying to create history this weekend. 1 short week ago won the Nationals in the speed car, and he's trying to do it the tough way and get up into the A tonight. But let me tell you, the young man from Western Australia, Ryan Farrell, the 96 car, he's got other ideas. It's Jackson, Shaw, Eakins, Farrell. Further back, we've got the first of the Queenslanders with Kelly. Further behind him, Rush Jr. is about to give him some hurry up. Then Paul Lindbergh starting to turn up the wick. Jackson off turn number 4. The battle for second about to loom again. The mine is starting to bunch up. This is going to go right down to the wire. It'll be 5 down, 15 remaining as the leader goes past the start-finish line. Have a look at Farrell. Close company now for Shaw as Eakins comes up right behind him. Shaw running second, Eakins running third. Have a look at Farrell. Lovely pass on the 3-4 turn. And the young West Australian has now lifted himself into 3rd spot of the B main. Drummer. Eakins. All over for him. Suspension gone. The car in trouble. This is number 2. Car number 2. Right rear is about to fall off the machine. Heads for the infield. And it's all over for the National Speed Car Champion as this race goes on at a hectic pace. Tyre sitting down there in a precarious spot. Race leader goes by. Oh, Farrell. Ryan Farrell untidy off turn 4 momentarily. He's down into turn number 3. Setting back about 4 or 5 car lengths. But let me tell you, it's a man who can run down Skip Jackson who's going to take the win in this one. Bruce White slowing dramatically in the 96 car. Race leader now into turn number 3, car number 25 we're watching.
And Jackson going through the traffic quite well. Shaw in second. Farrell from Western Australia in third. He's followed by Kelly from Queensland and Gary Rush Jr. Race leader now, 5 remaining. The pace is very, very quick. We're watching Skipper, Jackson I should say, the leader. He's up into turn number 3 of the blue 25 machine. Goes past us now, still the battle for second. Skipper having problems with his machine as we see Skip Jackson go past with the laps dwindling away. Jackson out the second turn, up into turn number 3. John Shaw just sitting there. Ryan Farrell trying everything. The battle for the minors is still raging as well. Race leader comes underneath Mortimer from Queensland. The two of them off turn at number 4. And have a look at Farrell now. Like an express train, he's lost it. Farrell getting back into it again. Skip Jackson goes by. Jackson down into the back part of the track, into turn number 3. And the white flag, one to go. One to go for Skip Jackson. Second turn action for him. The minors are the ones to keep your eyes on. Jackson goes around the 3/4 turn, and Jackson gets up. Farrell from Western Australia. Farrell from Western Australia up on the last corner. The young kid's done it. John Shaw third. Gary Rush Jr. fourth.
Gary Rush, shooting for number 11, Gary. What are your thoughts going through your mind right now?
Well, we're just trying to work the track out at the moment. You know, we're just not sure whether to go with 17 inches of stagger or 15 inches of stagger. You know, like the 17 inches of stagger will help us at the end of the race, but the 15 will be faster at the start of the race. And, you know, that's the thing. We'd like to see a red, but there's no guarantee there's going to be a red. So,
Gary, I noticed your choice on the right rear, a 25B compound. Little soft?
Probably, but if you can get out front and cruise, it's okay, and you can look after the tyres, and providing the lap cars give us a fair go, that's okay. But no, I'll look after it.
Wish you all the best for your 11th attempt, Gary. All the best.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Gary, you've just come fresh from a win in the Quid Series, a national series, and now you're starting off the front row. Feeling the pressure?
Yeah, you know, everyone's always should feel a little bit of pressure, especially when you're up off the front. It's a really big race to go out there and try and win, and when you got, you know, company like Gary Rush and Max Dumpty and Jamie Cobby and all them guys, you know, it makes it a tougher race.
Undoubtedly, you've been fast here now for all weekend. You're a great high track runner. Is that how you see the race being run?
Yeah, I believe it's a momentum track at this Warrnambool racetrack, and the fast way around is if you can get up on top. Sometimes you have a little bit of problems when you get into lap cars, but no, I think the way to go is around the top.
And do you think that running this racetrack wide open all the way is going to be the way to run it?
Oh yeah, if you can get out in front and you can run it wide open and be pretty smooth, I think you might give yourself a good buffer to get around and finish off the race ahead of everyone else.
21 years of age, you're very young to pull off a national title, which will be great for you in the future of the sport if you do. Do you think that your age is an advantage?
Well, yeah, I guess your age is always an advantage. You feel a little bit fitter than some other guys, like Gary's a bit older than me, but he's got experience as well. And experience gets you to the end of the line. And, you know, we're just going to try our best and hopefully we can come out on top.
All the best, Gary. Thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Stephen Gall already won a national speed car title. Stephen, you've been there, you know what it's like. How are you seeing this?
Just another race really at this stage. I'm just trying to take it cool, calm and collected, but it's going to be interesting. The track's going away. It's going to be a definite line. You'll have to run on the high line there. Not too many passing lines, which is unfortunate, but we'll go with the flow and see what happens during the race.
Do you think that if there is a passing line, you're going to have to drop off the high line down onto the bottom to get around?
Most definitely. That'll be the area, but early in the race, there's not too much drive down there anyway. So it's going to be a lot of follow the leader, I think, and if anyone's going to pass, it'll probably be around the outside, which is a dangerous place to do it.
Okay, thanks very much, Steve.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, David, thanks very much. We're with Max Stumpson, your hometown hero. Max, how do you see the race being run on your home track?
A long one and hopefully a few stoppages as we can get up there. Hopefully the track dries out a little bit because that's the setup we've gone with, a slicker type track. We'll probably be a little tight early and hopefully we'll come on strong at the end. 35 laps, a long way to go. Do you really expect the car to loosen up a little bit? Yeah, I do. I really believe it should loosen up and it should come in really good, hopefully. Must be a great thrill for you to be running an Australian title in front of your home crowd. You have been born and bred here off the farm? Yeah, it is. It's a great thrill to be here, but I sure as hell would like to be a little further up in the pack. Start out of 9 is not a good thing to be doing here. Like, this track's really fast and it's going to be tough. All the best, Max, and thanks very much. No worries. Thank you.
Would you please stand up from where you are, put your hands in the air and just applaud these guys. Come on, get up and do it. Up the main straight, stand up from what you're doing. Give them the wave if you like, but certainly wish them well because they are giving you the salute to the crowd in the Knoxville style. On the terraces, get up and do it this time around. Around at the back straight, you've done it so well all night, and in the stand, this is your opportunity. Now just bring the house down, roar it down, get up and do it again of your own free will. Get the wave going if you like. You reckon you can outdo them on the terrace? Let's prove it this time around. Come on, get up and give them heaps. In the stand. And we'll revert them back to starting positions. Rows of 2. Everybody starting to wander back. Going to be a very exciting classic. "17 competitors coming around on the track at the moment. The 17th being the defending Australian champion, Ron Cricky. Pace vehicle of the circuit. 35 laps of racing up on the board, the record 8:06.91. Gary Brazier off 1 at Gary Rush's election. Gary Rush the highest point scorer on this one. Jamie Cobby off 3. We're racing in the Kalari Transport 1994 Australian Sprint Car Champion at Premier Speedway. And already we see Gary Rush jump out of the lead. We've got drama on turn 2, one upside down, and it looks like it's the defending national champion. Front end completely out the race car. Turn number 4, they then will be given the start if everybody, the complete 16 cars, look fair and reasonable. In other words, that no one-upmanship can be gained. Skip Jackson at the back of the pack, sporting some 100-mile-an-hour tape on his wing, obviously a legacy of that incident over on turn 2. We're now looking for a restart again for the Kalari Transport 1994 Australian Sprint Car Championship as Gary Brazier brings them around the 3-4 turn. Rush on the outside, the two of them go at it. Rush gets the jump again, and Gary Rush is the early leader in this one with Brazier second, Stephen Gall in third. Behind that we've got Jamie Cobby. Brooke Tatnell further back is Robert Farr. He's for one in trouble, upside down big time. And I'm telling you, we have a lap recorded. This is Peter Smith, the colour type labels car number 8 from South Australia.
In that area, Ian, is that a TV stand or a camera post there? They
that's a camera position, so
they could get action on the spot.
Oh, probably more on the spot than you'd probably want it.
Perhaps I mightn't have got
I dare say that I wouldn't have been really pleased to be standing right up there as I see Pete Smith sailing through the air towards me.
Well, the other thing is I wouldn't want to be washing the cameraman's underwear tomorrow night either. And a protest flag going down on Gary Brazier. Protest flag to Gary Brazier, the 21 car. 2 infringements, could be the strap. 3 infringements, could be to the back of the pack. He won't want that. Gary Brazier to bring him round. Gary Rush off turn 2. Rush, the top point scorer, electing to go out of the second position. Max Dumsney's done this once before with success. We go this time. Very equal start. Bit of pushing and shoving at the back of the pack. As cars settle down, Gary Rush jumps out in the lead off the second turn. And we've got everybody trying to be a hero further back in the pack. Rush comes past, first time past the judge. Running second is Gary Brazier. Third, Stephen Gall. Fourth place, Brooke Tatnell. Behind that, we've got Jamie Cobby from South Australia. Then the first of the Farr cars. That is indeed Robert Farr. And behind him, we've got John Walsh from New South Wales. David Anderson. David Anderson has taken a huge crash. Upside down completely on turn 4. David Anderson turned around on the turn, whether it was by himself with or assistance with others. Jackson, that is the order as we look towards a restart here with 1 down, 34 remaining of the Kalari Transport 1994 Australian Sprint Car Championship. Thanks, Andrew. Yes, it was certainly steep. We're looking for a start on this one. 1 down, 34 remaining. Green flag. They come around the cone on the back chute. They're watching it very carefully. This big field. The rope gets tugged in with Gary Rush resuming as race leader. Running in second place, we've got car number 21, Gary Brazier. Stephen Gall, the 4 times Mr. Motocross champion of Australia, is running in third place, followed by Brooke Tatnell. The Java Sport entry from South Australia of Jamie Cobby. Robert Farr behind him. Further back, we've got John Walsh from New South Wales. He's followed by the second of the Farr units. That's Colin Farr, followed by George Tatnell moving back 1 place, I should say to you there. Max Dumsney hot on the heels of George Tatnell. Then they're followed by car 32 of Nathan MacDonald. Then Ryan Farrell, John Shaw, then Todd Wanless, and one turns it round. Farrell, he keeps it going and returns to the race. But let me tell you, a very, very costly spin on turn number 4 for the Western Australian. Meantime, we'll watch the master at work. Rush into the 3-4 turn. This time, 29 laps remaining. Rush round to the back chute. Chasing behind is Gary Brazier. The 2 of them very evenly matched in horsepower, but the experience is a little different. Rush, 10 times winner of the National Crown. Will he make it 11 tonight? Up behind the traffic, and if anybody's good, it's Gary Rush. He gets underneath Skip Jackson. He puts 1 down there. Here comes Gary Brazier. Now up behind Todd Wanless, who moves up the track and allows the 10 times national champion to go by. John Shaw in front of them now. He's on turn number 4, the race leader. It's the Castrol car of Gary Rush. Farrell spins it again off 4 and still keeps it going. Ryan Farrell, rookie racer in this series. There's the Super Series as Rush now opens up a lead over Gary Brazier. In fact, is starting to run away with this slightly. We are at the 25 lap mark. There is 10 laps down, 25 remaining in trouble. Tom Waddlers will bring down the cautions, I think. He keeps it going. He's trying everything. The car, the front end is gone. They go for a caution over on turn 3. And bad luck for the young Queenslander. This will be a quick yellow caution, not a full red light. .25 will be resumed as the 25th lap not completed. Rush to lead him around the cone. Rush and Brazier. Out of the gate, have a look at Brooke Tatnell. And have a look at this. We've got some desperate stuff happening further back in the field. Rush still the race leader. He comes around now with 24 remaining. Brazier still in second. Gall in third. Further back, we've got car 8. Brooke Tatnell, Jamie Cobby in 5th position. He's followed by car number 3, Robert Farr. Max Dumsney on the move now. He's sitting up behind Farr, and he's trying to pick them off 1 by 1. Rush into turn number 3. Distance between him and Dumsney at the moment is 1/2 a lap in Rush's favour. And drama over there again for Ryan Farrell. The setup not right on the car, getting very loose on the turns. And Rush predicting that this circuit would go slick for the end of this race. And he's probably got the setup. John Barrington here, very, very talented at picking the hot ticket. Brazier running second. Here comes Gall. Tannell still running behind him, but the battle of the miners. Dumsney, a brilliant outside pass. Max Dumsney with a brilliant outside pass is now into 4th position on the racetrack. And he is chasing after Brooke Tatnell with 15 remaining of this event. Rush down into turn number 3. Just as smooth as underneath John Shaw. The two of them racing past. And this race is going to go right down to the wire. Rush into turn number 3. Brazier unable to answer him at the moment, though still within striking distance, about 5 cars to the rear of the race leader. Steve Gall still very strong in 3, but Brooke Tatnell maybe making just a little bit of ground up on him, but making the most ground is Max Dumsney, and he's behind Tatnell. Another lap in the lead for Gary Rush. Possibly about to again rewrite the history books of Speedway racing in Australia. This grand champ, having won 10 times this event, and 11 will be just unbelievable here before this massive crowd at Premier Speedway. Rush off turn number 4. Now it's 14 to go. A little confused by the timer. We have a light out, and we'll forget about that for the moment as we look back to 2nd place. And Brazier still trying everything to reel Rush in. Gall still in 3rd place, but Dumsney the big mover. Tatnell moving up on Gall. Dumsney is about to tap on Brooke Tatnell's rear door as we see Gary Rush past this time with 12 laps remaining, still in command of this event by about 5 car lengths. The race leader now with 12 remaining. Brazier closing slightly on him. Here comes Gall with Tatnell breathing down his exhaust pipe. And Tatnell moves up. Brooke Tatnell now is moving up to 3rd place. Oh, they come together. He and Stephen Gall, and capitalising on the event is Max Dumsney, but can't pull it off. Gall's car going away from him. Dumsney on the low line, the two of them having a bit of a go here, but Dumsney not quite enough to go on with. The lap swinging away. Have a look at this. Brazier with Rush. It's Gary Rush and Gary Brazier. The two of them. Brazier got underneath him. Half a dozen laps remaining in this exciting Australian Sprint Car Championship. Rush again on top of it. The track now becoming very slick. Another challenge by Brazier on the low line here as we see the two of these races from Sydney. The 21-year-old challenger to the crown and the 49-year-old veteran, 10 times winner of this event. George Tatnell gets past one more time. Further back in 3rd place, I should say, we've got Brooke Tatnell, but have a look at this. Gary Brazier trying everything he possibly can to wear down Gary Rush, but Gary Rush just seems to have that little bit when he needs it. Brazier smoking the right rear, trying to do the high line slingshot on him. Rush now dives to the low line. The two of them, the cars seem to be slowing, the fatigue showing. There is round about 4 laps, make it 3, I think this time past. We have the light out on the timer, which is confusing us slightly. Rush and Brazier out of down the back chute. They go into turn 3. Rush very sideways. Brazier trying to get traction. And 2 laps remaining in this one. The leader around there. Brazier on the outside. Rush on the inside. The white flag coming up. 1 remaining. The two of them together. The pair of them turn it around. Rush tries to keep going. Brazier does. Caution on the racetrack. And Gary Rush is retired. George Tatnell is certainly out there with a problem. We have green. George Tatnell is just hanging there on the racetrack. Gary Brazier jumps away at the restart of this one. George Tatnell is out there just circulating. And we got Gary Brazier off for 1 to go in the Aussie title. Gary Brazier cranks it up in car number 21. He goes down into turn number 3. And the new 1994 Australian Sprint Car champion is Gary Brazier. Gall crashes big time. We have a fire over there. Front end is loose. Let's hope Stephen Gall is quite okay. Crashed over the line in the most spectacular fashion.
Right, Stephen Gall's car being cleared from the circuit down there. Obviously, we went straight onto a red light situation. We've got a hold with the final position.
Thanks, David. Stephen, what happened?
Well, Robbie Farr tried a move on the inside. It's called a slide job in the trade, and he worked up underneath me very aggressively. Last corner, big tidal, pressures on him to try to pass me. So I guess he exploited every possibility, and unfortunately, I'm left with a very, very damaged and expensive repairable on a race car, which is not so nice, really.
What would you estimate the damage at?
$10,000, easily $10,000. Complete frames sort of tore up, and front end, wings, wheels, 10 grand probably at least.
That's unfortunate. Commiserations about the damage in the accident, but you were running very, very strong. In the title, you were driving straight into third spot?
Yeah, we had third pretty well covered then, and I was happy to get third. I didn't have an engine because I had an overheating problem, and the temperature light was on for the last half of the race. So I wasn't even putting my foot down on the straight. So I was just trying to keep it smooth, straight, out of trouble, and look what happened to me.
That's very unfortunate. Tell me, do you think the amount of stoppages in the race caused the overheating problem?
No, I think we've got a bit of a head gasket problem. The head gasket's weeping a little bit, and we put water in at one of the stoppage, and it didn't seem to work so well. So I think the head gasket's leaking.
Commiserations, but there's plenty more titles and plenty more races left.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, mate. Thank you very much.
We unfortunately will not be presenting third place, subject to an inquiry. So let's go straight into position number 2 for the Kalari Transport 1994 Australian Sprint Car Champion. Would you put your hands together for the man who drives the Shell Phantom entry from New South Wales, Brooke Tatnell. Brooke Tatnell come down here, has had more than his fair share of dramas over the last 10 days. But let me tell you, this young man's came of age because at no time has he complained. He sat in, done it, and tried to be there at the end. Brooke, congratulations. Second might not be first, but it's a great effort in any event.
Yeah, second place at this place is nearly first for us. If we can finish a race here, it's like winning a race, and I really owe the credit to all the guys on the crew. I had the 2 best mechanics in the country in the help of Jeff Murphy and engine builder Alan Felsh. They prepared the best car. We were a little bit unlucky that we got a bent race car, but no complaints. Congratulations to young Gary, and bad luck to Gary Rush. But I really thank the guys on the crew, Shell Oils, Phantom Comics, CR&D, Murphy Race Cars, all you wonderful people for coming out, especially our true supporters over on the back straight that sit next to the Deviates Hill. And I said I'd conquer this place one day, and I felt we've nearly got there, but we've conquered Deviates Hill for a change.
And to present Brooke Tatnell with his second place here tonight on behalf of Kalari Transport, the Managing Director, Mr. Tony Noski.
Thanks very much, Ian. There you go, Brooke. I'd like to congratulate you on a magnificent drive. That was really one hell of an event, and on behalf of the long-serving customers of Kalari, the staff of Kalari, and the management of Kalari, I wish you the best. Thanks.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Tony and all the boys at Kalari. They've been great for sponsors with their own privateer acts and the sponsoring of the 1994 Australian Sprint Car title. Really like to thank them and all the minor sponsors. So keep coming back, and we'll see you next time we're down here.
Well, come on, what a ball. Brooke Tatnell, second in the Aussie Championship. Taking the gold and the glory and a bottle of champagne to go with it. Well, it gives me great pride to stand on here, the dais, and announce the winner of the Kalari Transport 1994
Australian Sprint Car Champions, the new Australia #1 from Sydney, New South Wales, Gary Brazier. Gary, our sincerest congratulations. And of course, it was a tough race out there with yourself and Gary Rush. And then, of course, having to relive it all again with those 2 laps of restarts. How did the nerves handle it?
Well, first off, we planned off letting Gary take the lead because I knew he was a bit quicker. I just thought we could run him down and then lap cars. And once we got to the bottom, I started picking him off real quick. I showed my nose a little bit early and he started cutting it off. But we ended up going around the outside of him, and I guess what happened to him happened to him. First of all, I'd just like to thank all you fans, because without all you guys, we wouldn't even be here racing. I hope we had a lot of exciting racing here for you this weekend. I know there was a lot of crashes. You know, a lot of these guys come here and try to win these races, and every one of them deserve a congratulation just for turning up. I'd also like to thank my sponsors, O'Brien Aluminium, Mortlake Roadhouse, Castrol, World Wheels and Pro Shocks, because without them, we wouldn't be here with such a fine car.
Well, let him know as we get Tony Noski to bestow on him the Australia #1 trophy, and then we'll be giving him that sash. That's all important.
Thanks, Ian. Congratulations, Gary. That was a magnificent effort. I've been watching you for a couple of years now, and really, apart from my old mate Gary Rush there, I couldn't have thought of anybody better or more deserved of winning this race. And, congratulations. I hope it's the start of a lot more big things for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, I'd just like to thank my father. He puts in 100% effort, you know, and he went home this week after I crashed his car, and I stayed up here and played around. And, you know, if it wasn't for such a great crew like I've got, like Dennis all the way from America, and all the other guys, and my mother especially, you know, they all give me the encouragement, and that's what makes me get along where I do.